Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. There is some amount of calm after the fiscal cliff resolution issue that came out, and we are seeing some kind of a weakness across the global markets. US markets were also weak, and the other important thing is that the bond buying program of about $85 billion that the Fed was pursuing, there are indications that they might have to halt that because some of the members have raised objection on that. Also, European markets were down about 0.25 to about 0.5%. And when we look at the Asian markets, some of the markets like Japan and China, which were shut for about 2 to 3 days, are catching up to this fiscal cliff rally that we saw over the last 2-3 days. So the Japanese market is up about 2.5%, but rest of the markets in Asia are down about 0.4 to about 0.5%. Back home, friends, in terms of flows, FIs continue to pump in a huge amount of money, and yesterday we had seen a net buying of almost about 1400 crore in cash market, whereas the domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of about 900 odd crore. Also, we have seen some weakness in the euro versus dollar, and it has slipped to about 1.30 as against about 1.32 that it was quoting at. Back home, our own markets have seen some kind of a sideways movement, but we continue to see stock specific action. So some of these sectors or stocks which were in limelight were Manappuram Finance and Muthoot Finance after the RBI indication that the loan value ratio could go up to about 70% from 60%. Also, India Bull Finance has seen a phenomenal action over the past few days, and it had actually moved up to almost about 310 on huge volumes. Ambuja Cement, ONGC are some of the stocks that were very strong. At the same time, we are seeing some weakness in the PSU banking stocks which have run up quite a bit. So PNB, SBI, BOB are some of the stocks that we saw some amount of profit booking. Also, Maruti disappointed with its December sales number, so some amount of weakness was there in that stock also. On that note, let me invite Shaivar to take us through important F&O cues, ideas and strategies that we could have in the F&O markets.
Good morning friends, let's have a view at derivatives now. Friends, we have been seeing that as there is no trigger point in the market is trading broadly in a range of say about 30 to 50 points. And in yesterday's trade, we have seen that further short positions were added in the market, but the PCR ratio has again moved up to the mark of 1. So this has been hovering around the mark of 1. Now, talking about the implied volatility, there is no much change, but yes, we have seen a gradual decline of around say 20 to 50 basis point in the volatility index VIX as well as the implied volatility. So that's been indicating that we may see some buying emerging in the market at lower levels. Also, talking about the strikes perspective front, we have not seen a major change in the hands. But yes, a gradual addition has taken place in 6,200 call option followed by 6,300 and 400 call option. Whereas if we have a look on the put side, we have seen 5,700 put option gathering a good activity in terms of open interest, followed by 5,900 and 6,000 put option. So going forward, 6,000 would be the level to watch on, and on higher side 6,050 if 6,050 is taken on, probably 6,100 would be the next hurdle for the market. Now, talking about the stocks, we have identified 3 stocks to play from intraday perspective on positive side. First of all, Biocon is looking positive, so one can maintain a stop loss of 292 rupees 15 paisa. Chambal Fertilizer is also looking good, so one can maintain a stop loss of 68 rupees 30 paisa, and GAIL is also looking good, so one can maintain a stop loss of 359 rupees 10 paisa. Thank you.
Here are the important news and events that we are tracking today. First of all, the Oil Ministry has proposed 2 separate cabinet notes. One is for capping the supply of cooking gas cylinders to about 7 cylinders per annum per family. And also, they are looking at increasing the diesel prices by less than 1 rupee a month. And eventually, over a 15-month period, the idea is to deregulate the diesel price. Both these developments are positive. If finally the cabinet approves this, it would be a big positive for the oil and gas sector as a whole. And on the back of that, we are seeing a good amount of buying interest in stocks like ONGC and some of the oil marketing companies like HPCL, BPCL, IOC, so on and so forth. Also, friends, there is a plan by the ministry to reduce the kerosene subsidy by 1/3 over the next 1 year, which again is a big positive. And in terms of the other news, Maruti disappointed with its monthly sales number for the month of December, wherein the sales growth was only a meager 3% to about 95,145 units, and on the back of that there was some weakness in the Maruti stock yesterday. In terms of other company specific news, CCI has approved a 30% stake buy by PNB in the MetLife Insurance. So one can go long on PNB with a stop loss of 890 rupees and a target of about 925 to about 943 rupees. JSW Steel has indicated that it plans to increase the prices across the board by about 2% or rupees 750 per ton, and one can go long on JSW Steel with a stop loss of 814, target of about 856 to about 873. And in another development, Arvind Mills and Welspun Corporation is looking at putting up an integrated textile park and manufacturing facility in Gujarat. So one can go long on Arvind Mills with a stop loss of 102 and a target of about 107 to about 109. And some negative development for Deepak Fertilizer, as some of the employees have actually gone on strike on account of the dispute over the disciplinary action taken by the management and the productivity and wage settlement related issues. So one can go long on Deepak Fertilizers with a stop loss of 130.50 and a target of about 124 to about 121.5. And in case of DLF, the CCI has actually modified the apartment buyers agreement after the complaints by some of the buyers that the agreement was only in favor of DLF, and even the Compact has directed them to redraft this agreement, wherein DLF had challenged a penalty of rupees 630 crore levied by CCI. So this is a bit negative for DLF. One can go short on it with a stop loss of 244 and a target of about 232 to about 227. Infosys is looking at trimming the staff by about 5,000, and also we've seen most of the brokerages coming out with the results note, wherein there are indications that the quarterly numbers may not be very positive for the IT sector as a whole, and particularly for Infosys. So the chances of Infosys missing its FY13 guidance are pretty high. So one can go short on Infosys with a stop loss of 2383 and a target of about 2265 to about 2219. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a great weekend and see you on Monday morning.